You're such an asshole.
All right, I will gladly take the money back from the millennial and Gen Z generation when you guys send in super long requests that don't get to the point. you guys have got to look. When I was younger, well, communication skills are very important, and it was BS back then because, like, yeah, we communicate, we know what you're doing. You guys write way too much shit, and it's fine by me. I'll just charge more. I got charged for my time. Everybody strap in. Hello, Captain. Please keep my information anonymous. I would like a video response, please. My name is... Well, why'd you give me your name? You're a guy. You're young. You're in your 20s. You're in a trade apprentice program. You live in a state, in a small town, located about an hour and a half from a town I've been to. 3 months ago, I was on a job and broke my leg in 3 places falling down a hill. I now have a metal rod in my leg, so TSA will have reason to get handsy with me now. Aha! See, that cost you $5. What the fuck does that have to do with this? See, you made a joke. Was that fucking funny? Did you like paying extra $5 for that? Because I got all the time in the world. Would like your advice, General, on my life, my past, and plans of the future. This will require me talking about my past and sounding like a whiny bit a tad bit. I do apologize in advance, all wise cat. Dude, guys, get to your fucking point. Don't fucking tell me what you're going to tell. I'm going to tell you these things, and I just want to apologize, and I'll get to the... If you're telling me, I'll try to be brief. You are not being brief. It's like an illegal alien. Like, the first thing you do when you come to this country is you break the law. The first thing you do is say, I'm going to try and be succinct. You have failed by wasting a fucking sentence. I'm going to get beautiful by getting fat. To start it off in 2015, my senior year of high school, my dad was diagnosed with cancer. At the end of summer, my dad died 2 weeks before I started community college. He was 75. I got a question. What the fuck? Not that he died of cancer. He's 75 and you're 18? How old's your mom? What the hell? It doesn't matter. I'm sorry you lost your dad. That's horrible, but he's 75. During that process, we learned he was deeply in debt and canceled his life insurance policy. Our house in a suburb of a major town had a lien against it from the IRS and later was repossessed. My dad was a realtor and he owned a real estate firm. Business, bro. I'm a businessman. Do you ever come to one of my banks for a loan? At certain points of his life, he did fairly well. My parents set aside a college fund for me, which my father spent. I should laugh. It's just they're fucking boomers. Along with him committing fraud, forging names of my family. My mom was a spendaholic stay-at-home mom. She must have had a great set of tits. She must have been a hot little piece of ass, and she went after your dad's money they didn't have. This left my mom with no savings, just relying on her boomer Social Security. She now lives in another place with over 20 cats. She's 63. How? 18 from 52. No. 18, 42? Is that 42? Maybe. Okay, that could work. 42, I guess. And is an emotionally immature child. I bet you she was hotter than shit in the 70s, man, who failed in life. I have no relations with her or any of my family. I'm an only child. Good. All right, well, you got rid of that. Okay. All this happened to me at 18. All this happening to me at 18 left me in a very angry place. Logically, losing everything I ever cared about along with all my easy opportunities. I had to grow up really fast. Good. This is probably the best thing that ever happened to you. We had an old family home in a place where I went to high school at. I hated living in this part of the state, but not having any stability, I decided to move back there where I worked and then move back to another place for a year, wandering the desert. No, you spelled wandering. It's wandering the desert, going to community college and working at Goodwill. After being a year and not getting any progress, being completely burnt out and disappointed, I decided to move back to that side of the state you didn't like. to reevaluate my situation. I decided I wanted to get into the trades and become a plumber. I saved up money as a bartender, $14,000, was accepted in one of the top trade schools in the country, located in a place that I have also been through on my motorcycle. I joined the trade school because it gave me hands-on experience along with learning all aspects of plumbing and 2,000 hours on my plumbing training card and 6,000 more until I became a journeyman plumber. This course set me back $8,000 in student loans. That's good. You saved up the money. This is all great. You're doing very good. I was hired by a great plumbing company near me, a town I have also driven my motorcycle through. I didn't want to stay in the area, but being uncertain about the state of the country with COVID, along with my great job offer, I figured since my expenses are only $800 a month, I'm making $18 an hour starting. I'm saving all this money and getting my experience that I need. My current savings is $35,000. I have a car completely paid for. The only debt I owe is my student loans. I haven't paid those because zero interest right now. Good. Yeah, if it's zero interest, don't pay it. Along with I'm new to the trade and need experience and didn't want to pass up a great job offer. I do hate living in this area. Oh, God. Fucking Christ, guys. Fucking Christ. Give up on this millennial bullshit expectation that everything is great and is supposed to be. If your life sucks in one regard, then you're doing something right. Right? Not if it's a self-inflicted suck. Like, it's cold. I'm working up in Edmonton's oil fields in Alberta. It sucks. Well, then you're doing it right because you must be making $140,000. No one wants to be here. There's no social activity. Are you getting paid $80,000 because there's no one there? Yeah, how'd you know? Because there ain't no pussy in that town. Otherwise, you would all flood there. Yes. There's a bar, maybe a diner, and the cop station. And maybe once in a while you see the county sheriff. I have a feeling you're paid a lot. Dude, you've hated every area you lived in. Fuck you. You're going to be there. But I figured this was the best choice. What do you think? Yes, get your working experience, make your money. You're saving money. And look, it doesn't matter if you like the place or not. As a young man, you should be busting your ass off, honing your skill, putting in double time if you can. I mean, it's like the military. Yeah, but it sucks the military. Yes, but do you have anything better to do? What, you got to stay in the trailer park and play video games, screw your cousins in Wyoming and eat Cheetos? Are you going to stay in the ghetto and watch Maury Povich or whatever the show is on and drink some beer and do some doobies? Oh, but you don't want to go to the military because they might send you to a place you don't like. Yeah, because you're in such great places now. Because the options are so. Because Bill Gates was going to invite you on his yacht, right? That was going to happen. You and Jeff Bezos were going to go bowling, huh? Stay there. Get your work experience. Put your nose to the grind. You're doing great at saving up the money. That's great. $35,000. And then when you have your skills, then you can start applying for jobs elsewhere in places that you may like. Or here, shock, sit down, everybody. Or if you want to make a lot of money, you go to places that suck because they desperately need to pay people more to go to the places that suck. Like where it's cold, or it's hot, or there's no one around. Cappy, now this kid isn't from New York. Cappy, I live in New York City, but I can't find a job. It really sucks. Have you sent resumes outside of New York City, let alone New York State? No, I want to live here. Suck Cuomo's dick. Okay, or de Blasio, whatever piece of shit, Italian gangster, degenerate, mafioso, politician, fuckwad is in charge. Suck their dick. My goals for the future: become a journeyman plumber, salary for 60 to 150K, along with saving as much money as I can before I decide to move, pay off my student loan to reconnaissance for my next move. Good. Current selection is either a place in the western place where you were before, my hometown, or completely new area such as Coeur d'Alene, Boise, Idaho. I have been to all three places, but the one thing about the original place is very liberal, but the county is very conservative. This town has a population of 100,000 people. College town, along it is a sanctuary. Why are you giving me all this fucking information? You want to make 150 grand? How about get to the fucking point, or you're going to piss off your fucking clients? What shape are the roads in? Are the trees groomed? What's your next door neighbor's name? Why don't you give me all the other worthless fucking information I don't need? There's a redhead that lives down the street. The next door gas station is an Amical, but down the next one, it's a Shell. What does alarm me is that the major town is destroying the entire state, causing an economic crisis, along with changing voting demographics. Even though I love the place, I do question if it's a good investment for my future, because the next place I move, I would like to buy a house. Then don't, okay, if you're going to buy property, you do not buy in liberal leftist Marxist areas, because you don't own your property. They will increase the property taxes to the point you are renting from the city or the state, or I'm sorry, county. And then, as it has happened in Minneapolis, among other places, they will provide or start enforcing restrictions on what you can and cannot do with your property. Ranging from everything from like, you got to get permits to like fix the gutters to, are you renting? Well, you have to accept Section 8 housing. You do not buy property in Marxist micro or municipal or county economies. I also question if it would be good for me to have a fresh start completely. I do love Idaho when it comes to its political leaning along with the culture, but Idaho has become a population one of the fastest growing states of the country. I feel like, God, you fucking millennials and you young kids, stop fucking analyzing. Oh my God, things aren't perfect in the world. I'm looking over here and California's doing that, New York's doing that. Hey, dude, you don't control it. Stop fucking worrying about it. And why don't you move to where that shit ain't happening? I feel that will even be more beneficial in my career and job opportunities. What are your thoughts and opinions? If you want to go to Idaho, I'd recommend that. Here's what I'd also recommend, though. I would recommend living in Washington State, like on the border, so you don't pay income taxes. Spokane's a nice big town, and it's right. I think it's 25 minutes from Coeur d'Alene. But then I'd be in Washington. Maybe Spokane's a little bit liberal. I mean, it's not the Olympia's the capital. Spokane, it's probably more conservative than you don't want to go to the west side of the state of Seattle. Fuck that shit. With my final question, I would try to stay in Washington State for tax reasons. But if you like the Coeur d'Alene area, just hop right over the border. There you are. Do all your socializing over there. Do you like meth? My final question, Cappy. I'm very haunted by my past, and it's hard not having any family. Feel like my parents failed and didn't care. Your feelings are not feelings. They are correct. They did fail, and they did not care. I feel like some of my best years were taken away. You don't feel some of your best years were taken away because my parents stupidly, along with a deep longing for because of my parents' stupidity. Here's another, just if you want to make the $150,000, fucking spell. Okay, just a pointer. Lots of, not the best typist myself, but Christ, please use punctuation, use the right words. Along with a deep longing for my home. I feel I missed out on relationships and experiences. Yes, you didn't feel, you did. Along with coming to a point where I hate my life because of what happened to me. I would hate your life, but you cannot hate you because you were not guilty of it. You didn't cause this. Yeah, I hated my childhood. It fucking sucked. I hated my youth. I hated my 20s. I hated my teens. It fucking sucked. Me, I'm fucking awesome though. Persevered and given a big old finger. All those assholes I had to deal with. But yeah, bad things happen. And thankfully, it sounds like all the bad shit happened to you in the beginning. And when you get older, you're going to find out you will appreciate this experience because it will forge you to be a stronger man. And you already are. You're saving money. You're working hard. You're realizing it doesn't matter what some pie in the sky dumbass teacher tells you about love and unicorns and UBI. You get a trade. You're going to make more money than your peers graduating from college who did have probably a good childhood and upbringing. But it's not your fault. All right. So you have every right to hate your life because it sucked. As a matter of fact, you'd be a moron to think, yeah, it was a great life. It fucking sucked. You cannot hate yourself. So, I feel like a loser in some ways. All right. Stop that. Why are you a loser? You have no parents, right? Well, one died pretty early. And they fucked you over financially, and you're on your own. But you get no help from them. Right? You're not a loser. You're actually a winner because you're supporting yourself. I don't know this many young people your age that support themselves like this and go to school on top of it and are mature enough to know, hey, I got to buckle down and maybe I got to stay in this town that I fucking hate. Let alone start doing this foresight, this foreanalysis, like, oh, I should go over here. Oh, hey, we go over here. I'm going to do my reconnaissance. So you're not a loser. Here's a way to tell here's the number one way to tell if you're a loser. And this is the litmus test. This is it. 100% accuracy. Do I need other people's money to live? If you do, you're a loser. I'm a strong, independent woman who writes for Boldy Condé Nast over in New York City. Your parents pay for your rent? I'm a strong loser. Welfare bum? Loser. Welfare make work government program job. Diversity inclusion people. Go over to the university, tell all the white people they suck. Loser. Hardworking barista. Hardworking janitor. Hardworking security guard. Hardworking apprentice. Lives in a one bedroom. Doesn't even live in an apartment. A bedroom. Right? Pays his or her bills on time. Pays rent on time. Doesn't collect a government check. I will disqualify stimulus checks from that because they just gave it to you. I don't think you really had a choice. Are you on the state Obamacare plan? No. Do you pay for your shit? Yes. If everybody went away and took all their money with them, would you still be able to support yourself? Yes. If your parents went away, would you be able to afford yourself? No. Loser. Doesn't matter if the money comes from the government or your dad. Okay? You are not a loser. You're a winner because you're a real man and you support yourself. You don't have to be a billionaire. You don't have to make 6 figs. All right? A lot of struggling winners out there, but you're not collecting. You are not a parasite. And that's the only rule for winners or losers right there. Are you a parasite? Loser. You're not a parasite. You're a producer. Winner. Like I started too late. I can acknowledge my success to a point. I just don't feel like it makes up for the lost time. Oh, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It never will. Okay, new concept, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone sit down. Bad shit happens to innocent people. And there's nothing you can do about it. Yep. There you go. You did lose time. I just don't feel like it makes up for lost time. It doesn't make up for lost time. It doesn't. It never will. You had your childhood taken away from you. You had your family taken away from you. Nothing will make up for that. There's no cure for that. We do not have the Wayback Machine. But I can acknowledge if none of this happened, I would have majored in something stupid, such as journalism, and would not be nearly as strong a person as I am now. That's what I said. See, you're going to look back when you're an old fart like me. You'll look back and say, thank God, because I'm a really cool guy. And because the spoiled you, if your dad actually had the money, he probably would have pissed the money away anyway. You'd have no inheritance. You'd have a worthless degree. But you probably have this Marxist indoctrination that you're entitled to the world. And then you'd be reliant upon people like Biden or Andrew Yang or other people to give you other people's money. And you'd be a loser. Now you're a plumber. You probably got good physique because you're always wrenching, getting exercise. You won't be poor. You know what's important? You'll be able to find a wife that, you'll be able to identify when a wife is a good catch or a bad catch. Because he's like, did you work? No? Okay, bye. How do I get over this and how should I feel about my parents' past and future? All right, you never get over it because it's part of it. It's happened. You never get over it, right? You can let it stop. You could have it stop bothering you as much. That takes time, maybe some meditation or some mental exercises where if you start, I get angry. Even to this day, I get angry. I'm like, no, stop it. talk to a therapist, I recommend histherapist.com, Dr. David Maloney, histherapist.com. And instead of worrying about the past, which you can't change, you only got your future. So why don't you focus on that? Because that's all you got. You're doing a good job laying down the foundations for that with plumbing. Your parents, I think you should absolutely hate your parents. And I would not, you can't forgive your dad because he's dead. And other people are going to disagree with me on this, but your mom just sounds like she's not even there. So I wouldn't until your mom apologizes or wakes up, which she probably won't. I mean, 63, 20 cats, lived off your dad. I'm sure she was a trophy wife. The past and the future is all you got, so make it count. And then, just go. Once you're done on these tough times and you get stabilized, like you find yourself a good plumbing job, you're making 65, 70 grand. You do your reconnaissance, buy yourself a nice little house, a nice little piece of land, and just enjoy life. That's it. That's all there is. In conclusion, I've been a long-time viewer for the past couple of years. I fully credit you with a lot of help through my dark days. I have read 3 of your books, Reconnaissance Man's Poor Richard's Retirement and Bachelor Pad Economics, all works of art. I would appreciate your thoughts and feedback with some big brother advice and perspective. Thanks for taking the time to read this. I appreciate what you do. Take my shekels. I took a lot of them. So there we go. Yeah, you're doing fine, kid. You're doing fine. Fucking be more succinct. Make sure you go through and read. Don't do the voice to text. Don't do that. Type. Make sure the words are the correct words. Get to the fucking point. You're doing fine. Look, and just so you know, there's not like a yay, you've turned your life around. There's no trophy. There's no hooray. It's not, the Nobel Peace Prize. They don't give a Nobel Peace Prize for achieving shit or turning your life around or going through struggle. It's just, we like it because you're a Marxist. Yay, here you go. We award you this award. It means nothing. All right. The real victories in life, there is no award. There's no celebration. There's no cheerleaders. Perhaps my most triumphant achievement was finishing college early and without debt. And when I handed in my last paper, there was no fireworks. So just keep on going. The celebration is when all of a sudden you have a nice life and you have a handful of good friends. Maybe you got a hot wife or a long-term girlfriend. Maybe. Whoa. Super Chat City. What happened with this? Why are the Super Chats now? Okay. Memes, jokes, and whiny cost extra. Send more money. The Competent Man, $5. Why in the world did he cancel his life insurance? It is one of the few things that he could leave that would be outside the estate and past tax free. Because Competent Man, he probably cashed it in for the cash value insurance. That's why I'm betting he did. Cyrus Y for 10 British pounds. Young cousin going to college in a few years. I told him to read Worthless, go Army, then college for a real degree. If you could just pick just one major in your 20s, Cappy, what would you choose? Well, me personally, I would have gone nuclear engineering, which probably wouldn't have been the greatest engineering choice either, but that was my second choice. But I would have gone software engineering, computer science. Absolutely. Back then, yeah. And I'd still do that now. That's what I would do. Competent Man for $5. I see similar with boomer estates constant. People have kids, wife, but no insurance. Incompetent estate planning and assets frittered away over time. But see, Competent Man, it's our time. That's when boomers got to do the reverse mortgages, and they go and they afford golf and Chardonnay. They'll have the fish. I'll have the salmon, please. I'll have the salmon. YOLO! Sam Whiskey, $5. Cappy, is the greatest generation responsible for the shenanigans of their offspring? Yeah, there's an argument for that. I would say it has some veracity to it. Yes. You can't raise a bunch of spoiled brats like the boomers and expect them to do anything but raise future spoiled brats. So yeah, the greatest generation should have been way harder on the baby boomers, but they just got through the Great Depression and they got through World War II, And so they thought that we had never been able to spoil a generation like that. The economic production and capacity was never there. One might argue during the Roaring 20s that was a possibility, that level of excess, but I don't know if it was that widespread. There was still a fair amount of poverty in the 20s. But yeah, when the 50s rolled around, I think that may be the first time in human history where an entire generation was turned into a bunch of worthless, spoiled brats. And well, now we see. We'll print off 1.9 trillion and that will make everything better. Rob Flores, $5. Aaron, the stimulus checks to business affected by virus, will they use it to expand or pay back short-term loans they incurred while trying to stay afloat? They will use it to stay afloat. Expand. Expand. Dude, these businesses, all small or big, they're all leveraged to the hilt. They're not going to expand. They don't have the capacity. What are they going to expand? Who's going to buy? You have to wait for the economy to boom. There has to be demand for it. There's only a few sectors in the economy like artificial intelligence, software, egg freezing. I'm not even joking about that. Like, if you guys want to cash in on the next gold mine, try to find a way to sell lies to spinster women. There you go. Oh, yeah, here's your cats. Oh, here's some wine. Hey, edgy cougar, milfy mom, 50-year-old, 50 new 20, whatever. You know the routine. Competent man for $5 again. Within extended family, a $3 million in assets frittered away over a decade, such that when a person passed away, the estate sold within 5 weeks as minimal as less than $25,000. Exactly. So I have the Smith & Wesson retirement plan, not only because I don't want to suffer a painful disease that's terminal. It's also like, well, why would you spend all my estate keeping my ass alive painfully for 2 months? Like, here's the money. Go live with it. Thank you, Uncle Aaron. As I imagine my nieces to say. Competent man. Geez, competent man, you're awfully generous. $5. Friends, family, father passed away with a reverse mortgage of $600,000. Mom has a reverse $300,000 reverse mortgage on her own house. Dad remarried and kids want out of estate but can't. Rodrigo Proinca for 15 Brazilian reals. You said in the past that you hate writing and reading. How did you become such a good writer then? Like your conversation style, or is it just talking to people? It came through it was my job. Two things. One, I was an economist at one time, and I had to do sovereign risk analysis. I'd read through a ton of economic reports, and I predict what's happening in different economies in the world. And so I had to write really well because I was writing actually for a pretty high level economist who I think has passed away now. So there was that. Then also my writing continued. When you're a credit analyst, you got to write, okay, this is the borrower, and you had to be quick and succinct, because if you weren't, it's not that the bankers get pissed off. They just take too damn long to get through your shit. Like, here's the numbers, and it would bang out. And I wrote very succinct and precise reports. And the third thing is I read The Economist in the 90s, front to cover. And The Economist in the 90s had the best writing ever. And so if you were to read through that, you'd see the same words that I use, some of the same phrases, same cadence and pattern. So that's how I'm a good writer. But I hate it. No, I hate writing. I hate reading. Competent man for $5 again. Friend of family. Used to refer to dad's current woman as girlfriend, but after died, fessed up. Well, technically they were married and want her cut out. It's always great having parents that got nothing. Like, yeah, I got to fight over anything. It was hilarious informing him that no matter what dad says, second wife is entitled to 50% of the state as a matter of law. Laws of intestacy minimum. That must be Latin or something. Yeah, law's the law. Married, you're married. That's how it goes. Competent man again. Man, you're not gonna have an estate. You keep giving me all these super chats. Save some for your kids. Competent man, $5. If way to F up an estate or effed up estate planning, the boomers are experts at it. Sometimes it's so bad I wonder if deliberate or they hate kids. The boomers are so stupid. They are so bad. And you know what? I can't slam on the boomers because my generation is doing the same thing. I had this one. well, we'd like to do that, but, our children are off to school. First thing I ask, I said, why are you paying their way through college? Well, school's so expensive. I'm like, hey, I got an idea. What if you parents all stop helping your children and we deprive the school system of a third of the money? I wonder if tuition rates will go down by a third. I'm no economist. Atham, Eldecua for $2. Super stick. We don't know. Maybe for $2, that must be a really nice Mexican poops. Django Geek, $2. Missed a super chat before Robert Flores. Robert Flores, did I miss one? Django Geek. Oh, sorry, Django. Here we go. Do you think running deficits can ever stimulate genuine economic production and growth that outpaces inflation? It can, short term. There's no doubt that if you run deficits, there's the immediate expenditure. That does not increase, however, the long-term productive capacity of the economy. So as that extra money, assuming you financed it with dollars, printing off money, the inflation will come in there. And then whether it would outpace inflation, it depended on how if you stimulated consumers, it wouldn't outpace inflation. It would immediately cause inflation because you're going and you're buying stuff without an increase in the productive capacity of the country. If you cut corporate taxes, and that's where the deficit came from, then it's like, oh, this is more profitable. So then corporations would have an incentive to invest more factory, hire more workers. So that increased production, increasing the GDP, which would then lessen the amount of inflation. So it's possible. But yeah, if you just give stimulus checks to the fucking degenerates of society, and buying shit, man. Especially if that shit comes from China, because all of it does, well, that leaves you short. It doesn't help growth. Oh, all right. Let's get that. Got Jingle there. All right. Competent man again for $5. Productivity is sky high compared to the 1920s. In the 20s, large parts of the population still in agriculture. Now 20 million out of work. Everything's still available. Yeah. No, we've drastically increased and diversified our economy. Atham, thank you again for a Mexican poops. I don't know what it is. That's a high-end Mexican poops. Cyrus Y for 5 British pounds. Thank you for truth. I don't have a monopoly on truth. That's Jack Napier. What major would you pick if you were starting college in 2025? The most future-proof computer science again. Go into the military. Go do your thing. Get the GI Bill. Major in computer science. Also, Cyrus, I'd be a young chick with big tits, no tattoos, long hair, who is thin and in shape. If you really want to make some money. See, but I have to tailor my advice for men and women. But that's what I would do. Fancy Mexican poop. Okay, good to know. All right, that's it. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. Oh, hang on. Zone out. Hey, Cappy, you're going to finish all requests today. I'm going to try. Voice is going. I'm going to try. Oh, and then just so you know, normal pricing is back. I did recover my voice, but yeah. So I'll try and get to him today. Toodles.